Hello everybody, XPGamesNL here, back with a new Fire Emblem Builder tutorial. It has been a while, since I've been very busy the last couple of weeks. Well, too busy, so busy in fact that I cannot make new videos. The progression of Fire Emblem The Prophecy of Flames has gone a little bit slower. I'm working on the next batch of updates. The prologue is finished. But for the rest, I have very little spare time. But today I have found enough time to sit down with you guys and walk through another FEBuilder tutorial. Today we're not going to add something new. Today I will show you a couple of tools to fix some issues that you might have had with FEBuilder. This tutorial was actually requested by someone on FEUniverse on the thread, where I have a little thread going over the tutorial videos, and people can request what topics they want to see. They can vote on a poll if they like short videos, longer videos. If you haven't joined FEU, I highly recommend joining, because there are a lot of people that can help you out with ROM hacks and such. There are a lot of graphics, a lot of assets that you can use. If you just credit people, there's a giant repository run by the one and only Clockinator. It's a really nice community, so if you haven't checked it out yet, I highly recommend doing so. Anyway, today's video is going to be about a couple of tools that will help us today. It is about the revision history, the FELint that helps us find errors that might be really well hidden, and we're going over the report issues, creating report issues. Oh, and before I forget it, we're also going over the debug tool. Well, when you boot up the ROM, you have a little debug tool where you can do some stuff with. So let us get started with the first thing, and that is actually the funniest part of this entire tutorial. We're going to corrupt the ROM. So if we go to the ROM real quick, as you can see, we're here nice and steady in the ROM. I know a couple of errors that might occur if you play around with FEBuilder enough. One of them is when you go to the item editor right here. Let me see if I can quickly get the item editor for you guys. Let's see. There you go. Should now be. So let's quickly. There you go. There it is. As you can see, this is the item editor. If we go to let's say a random axe, doesn't matter which axe, as long as it is an item type axe. Well, let's not change that. As long as it is an axe, like the devil axe for an example, when I change it to 1 to 2 range, what will happen if we go back to the main title screen real quick is that if correct, the ROM displays that there are 19 errors. Now you might be thinking, why does the ROM immediately go like, wow, why are there 19 errors immediately for just changing such a simple thing? Well, if we click on this, if we click on the FELint, right here, as you might be able to see, well, it says that there's no errors now, but if we just click the reload button real quick, it will start scanning the ROM for errors, and as you can see, it has found 19 errors. And you can open up this window. Let me quickly get this window for you guys. Let's see. Is that this window? I don't know. There's just a little window popping up. I can't really. Here it is. This should be it. If we quickly do this, there you go. Let's center it on screen. There you go. So as you can see, there's a lot of errors listed here. These are all errors that have to do with animations, because in Fire Emblem Game Boy Advance there is this error. If you change an axe to a 1 to 2 range weapon, then a unique animation needs to be set for this for every single class that uses this axe. It's a pretty long process because we need to assign 19 new animations, and let's say you have added a couple of extra classes that use axes. For an example, I have added the Marauder class to Fire Emblem The Prophecy of Flames. It's basically a brigand on a mount. that class will also need a unique animation. So if we double tap on this, a new window will open that you guys cannot see yet. Let me quickly get that for you guys. Let's see, where is it? Wow, I can't find it. That is very unfortunate. What if I just try again real quick, and otherwise we'll make a little cut here. There we go. This is the little window. As you can see, we have all of these animations here. So what is the problem is that in Fire Emblem Builder, every single 1 to 2 range weapon has this unique animation listed here. So the hand axe has one, the tomahawk has one, and the hatchet has one. But since the devil axe is now a 1 to 2 range weapon as well, we would actually need to expend the data here. We needed to get an extra slot. Let me quickly do that. We've now got an 8th slot, and let's put this to item specification, because you can also install a unique animation for a unique item. So Lyn, for an example, in Fire Emblem 7 has a unique animation for the Soul Kadi. They make use, or that animation or that setting makes use of a unique item specification thingy and a unique animation for that. So I think the Devil Axe is somewhere here. There it is, the Devil Axe. And as you can see, if we now change this to the hand axe animation for the general, look, it's just a simple hand axe animation. If correct, if we go back to the error window, we quickly go back to the error window right here. If we click on the reload button up top, you see that at the moment there is like 19 errors or something, right? We're focusing on this top one. This one should disappear. And there you go, it disappeared because there were actually 2 errors because there are 2 generals. The previous one was for the 0B general in hexadecimal numbers. And this one is for the 0C, that is the female version of the general. So we've actually fixed one of our errors, and this is just a very helpful tool for figuring out errors that the game might have a problem with. This error in particular is not that game-breaking. I think that it's not that bad, actually, if you just do not fix these errors with a 1 to 2 range axe. But every single time I use FEBuilder, I think an error just looks messy. And I'm like, if someone one day opens up my ROM and sees that there's like 2,000 errors, then that will not be a very nice thing to see. So that is why I always check the FE lint. It will automatically show if there's an error. It's a really helpful tool. So if you see this pop up, just double tap. And most of the times, if you see one of these errors here, it will immediately, by double-clicking it, point you to the problem. With the Devil Axe hand axe thingy, it brought me straight to the general animation, which meant that, which was basically all about fixing the hand axe or the throwing axe animation for the Devil Axe. It immediately brought me to that specific error, specific window. So that is nice. As you know now, you can actually find these errors. Now, there are a couple of other tools that you can very nicely use for error thingies. Let's just say, for an example, that you have found an error, but you do not know what to do about it. If you have found an error and you do not know how to fix it, then you can always ask the people in the community for help, as well as you can ask the creator of FEBuilder, which was like 7743, I think his name was on FE Universe. Very nice fellow. He requested this tutorial. Thank you very much for checking out my content. Really appreciate it. He will also be there. Everyone will be there to help you. If you bump into an error, you can go to FE Universe or you can go to the Discord and you can share a 7-zip file so that people can try out the ROM that you're working on the patch, and they can see if they can help you fix the error you've run into. So what we're going to do is we're going to boot this up, like over here, the create report issue. This is where we're going to create our 7-zip file so that we can post it to the community. So if I can get the window real quick. You can make there's an explanation of this function here. This is basically a link. If you put this into your browser, there will be a little tutorial on the website that will walk you through how to create this 7-zip file. Thing is that that is a tutorial with screenshots, and the creator asked me to make a video about it so that I can explain it with a little bit of video footage. So that is what I'm doing today. So if you press the start button right here, it says please wait. What will happen is that the ROM will start processing. There we go. As you can see, we have now entered a new window. We have 2 steps up here, and there's a little box where we can put the error in. So for an example, let's just say that we do not know how to fix our error, but we know that it has something to do with the devil axe we changed earlier. So let's just type in, I changed the devil axe weapon to a 1-to-2 range hand axe weapon. The program, or FEBUilder tells me that I have to change the that you have to change the animations of a lot of classes, but I tried and I failed. There's actually something that happened to me too while developing the Prophecy of Flames. Is there was an unknown bug or an unknown error where I had to change. I wanted to add a short axe, the Fire Emblem Awakening short axe, to the game. And what had happened is that when I added that to the game, of course that error popped up where I needed to change all of the axe animations, the throwing animations for the short axe. But once I started adding those new animations, at a certain point a weird bug occurred where the battle animations would be always turned off. Even though they were turned on in the settings, they will never display, and that was something I had. So maybe we can fill that in, like the battle animations are always disabled when I fix this error, which rather, even if it should be enabled. So that is a specific bug that spans the entire ROM. That is something that all of the ROM has to deal with. If you have a specific if there's just a specific thing, a chapter-specific thing that freezes your game, or there is a chapter-specific bug that will basically make a character glitch out or make the chapter impossible, something that you do not like, that bugs out the chapter, then you have a couple of chapters here. So we can set a chapter. Let's say this bug only occurs in Chapter 9, Distant Blade, and it is always caused by Mace, the character we gave a new class, a new animation. Maybe that is the problem. We can also select the battle animation that might be the problem. So if I go really quickly, I can, for an example, go to a battle animation. There's this little battle animation of the mannequin I made. Let's just add this text thingy. Let's just say, okay, that is the issue. Well, then you just add that to the thingy. All right, so let's just keep going. You can add some files, some media files, to show what happened. That was the option right there. So you can also go back, and you can say, like, you can always add a new file, but if you forgot something, you can add it. So what you can do now is you need to select a ROM that is unmodified, an unmodified ROM, because there needs to be a UPS patch created. The FEBuilder will generate a UPS patch. The reason that we need to make a UPS patch is because this line right here, it is illegal to publish ROMs in most countries. This is due to the fact that ROMs are literally just Game Boy Advanced games or other games such as Nintendo DS games, you name it. ROMs are basically just the games that you can get on a little cartridge when you buy a new game in a box, illegally uploaded to the internet. It is actually illegal to spread ROMs like this. So we are not doing illegal stuff because we are not uploading, we're not downloading ROMs. We're actually just sharing UPS files. What is illegal is the websites that offer these ROMs, where we need to apply the patch to. So let me just quickly select my unmodified ROM right here. And what will happen now is that we will create a UPS patch. Oh wait, I would actually like to add here, this is a tutorial 7-zip file. It is meant for my tutorial on tools that can help you with fixing errors/bugs. If you see this error, please ignore it. And then we'll just sign this real quickly with my gamer tag. So now let's just click next, and we will create the UPS patch. You can save it. I will not show where it is saved. That is a little bit too personal, but you can actually save it like in a GBA folder or something. I'll save it in a folder, and then we have a 7-zip file. It is now creating it. Oh wow, I actually get an error. I actually got an error about that it cannot save. Wow, that is actually quite interesting. Well, the thing is I might have done something wrong. Chances are that it will work out for you guys. Chances are I did something wrong. It might just be the fact that I selected the wrong clean FE ROM, like this one. The unmodified ROM might be the wrong one. I might have screwed something else up. Just follow these steps, and if you find a problem, just make sure to tell someone in the community about it. I think I just goofed it up or something. Maybe if I just select this, maybe I just need to select a different ROM. The specified ROM is not an unmodified ROM. Okay. So it tells you that really nicely. What if I just save it right here? It's just an error that just suddenly occurred. Let's see if it still gives me an error. Might just be my problem. If you try this out, if you get an error as well, then post it in the comments below. I might just tell the creator of FEBUilder about it, or some people that can help with this. I will just tell them like there's something going wrong. If that isn't the case, then it will most likely work for you, and that is good. That is what we're trying to achieve. So if everything goes correct, you should now have your very own 7Z zip file that you can use to share in the Discord or on FE Universe itself. Just ask for help. This is a tool for creating a bunch of or just like a zip file with all of the stuff you need or other people need to fix the error in your ROM, or help you fix the error in your ROM. So if you really are running into trouble, use this 7-zip thingy. It really, really helps with doing that. I might actually be able to get this to work with a different ROM. If that is the case, I will post it in the comments below, or maybe make a little segment at the end of this video going over the working register process of the 7-zip. So you will hear if it is a personal issue or if it is something that occurs multiple times. You will figure that out. Keep your eye on the comment section. It's a little bit of a technical difficulty, but it will be fixed. Don't worry. It's probably something that is to blame on me, I guess. So with that, let us just quickly go to the last or the second last thing, and that is actually something we need to boot up the ROM for. So if we boot up the ROM, it's now in the top corner right there. I need to expand this real quick, fit this to screen. As you can see, this is... Oh, wait. I need to increase the size of this thing because the quality then gets better. So let's fit this to screen. As you can see, we've booted up the ROM. But we're not here to per se look at the ROM. If we just quickly play, or if we go to chapter, final chapter, Sacred Stone. What we're here for actually is something completely else, because there's this debug menu that always pops up when you just simply it's this debug menu. Every time you boot up the ROM, it pops up, and as you can see right now, it should appear. That is still a window. Let me quickly. There you go. This is the debug menu that we have right here. I might be able to actually, if we just go to this one, I'm going to shrink the size of this real quick by doing this. There you go. I will put it like here or something. If I can just, there you go. I'll put the little ROM over here. It starts playing. You can see what's going on screen, because the debug menu actually is responsive with what happens on screen. Oh god. So let's start at the top left. You see floor over here. This is the tile or text that is currently being displayed. If I go to Erica, does it say Erica? Yeah, it does. So it is basically just telling us whatever we have selected with the cursor. This is Namey, this is Ripseth, and a floor, apparently. And it starts changing every time I move something. Every time I move the cursor, you see that it responds to whatever I have selected. Also this dark tile, this Gorgon or the monster, the chest. So that is something that basically shows what is happening on screen. Is there a pillar here? It's a brace. It's the stairs. For as far as I see, there's not really a pillar here. So that is, well, that is not the problem here. It's just showing off certain tiles like doors and whatnot. What we have over here is the flags that are true. If you have been in event editing, these flags are really important for triggering certain events. Temporary flags are flags that are either true or false, and when they are false, an event can happen, and if they're true, in most cases an event cannot happen. So you can easily keep track if an event is not triggering, because a talk conversation is not showing up in the menu. Like, let's say I added a talk conversation, and it's not here in this little menu, then it might be to blame on the fact that one of these flags is set to true or false. That is just something you need to keep in mind. You can easily keep track of all of these flags, like, let's see, there's a lot of flags. There's the world map initialized, Boulder became a join, so Boulder has been added to our party. That is what this flag is about. Let's see what we have here. We have the guide, so let's see the guide over here. All of these flags have to do with the guide. There is actually also one for the triangle attack. Oh, these are the read flags. So if we just, let's see, read armory. Is there some armor? Where's the armory thingy? Armory is terrain. It's not here. Items. Is it here? Yeah, the armory. So if we click this, this flag will be set to true because we read it. So if we go down, there's some more global flags over here. This arena thingy, there are read flags. There's also one for the triangle attack, if I remember, a flag. Because a triangle attack can also be triggered only once. There's one for Amelia's death. For the dialogues, there's one. Fought with the Demon King. Express boss icons, tutorial. there's just a lot of different flags, and this little tool over here allows for really easily keeping track of it, as well as if you double click it, you can actually set it to true. We shouldn't set this one to true because that will trigger a game over. So let's not do that, but we could say like cease flag if we put this to true. I do not know if we then immediately clear the chapter or not. Apparently not, but that is also something you can do. Set flags on or off, that is also something that you can do with this. Then the event history is something that we can also take a look at. This is when you boot up the ROM. It will display all of the events that have happened. So like, as you can see over here, oh wow, you can see the date and the exact time something happened. It's just basically a log of what text has been displayed, what cutscenes you have seen, stuff like that. Small log, could be really nice to just keep track of. I don't use it that much, but if you like overseeing everything that has happened in your ROM, then you can use this event history. Going to the procs, this is basically just, what you see here is just all of the little commands that happen when I like move the cursor, and when I do this and that. This is something I pay little attention to. This is very, very detailed stuff. If you're only here to just make a FE8 recolor or reskin, then this is probably not meant for you. This is just micro commands. This is for really deep stuff. This is for the people that make new game mechanics in Fire Emblem, Game Boy Advance. That is what this is for, basically. But now when we go to the two most interesting parts of the little thingy is... Oh wait, this actually also... I need to show this off, but for now... here we can oversee our entire party, and we can oversee everything in the game. We can see like the music that has happened, or the sound effects that have played. Like the... I do not know how many this is. This is 8. These are the last 8 sound effects that have played. All the last 8 different sound effects that have played. We can see those here. We can see what class everyone is. There's a lot of other little tabs over here. AI data, battle thingies, the world map, the dungeons, the supply. We can look at every single item in the supply. The supply is empty, so there's nothing in there. The arena, we can look at all kinds of stuff. We can even look at palettes. We can look at every single, even trap data. Since there are no lava tiles or poison thingies on this map, this will be none. But there's just so much to look at here. If you ever need something specific, then you can find it in the etc. window. Final window. Oh, we can also look at the enemy and the NPC army. We can also see which enemies drop items. All kinds of interesting stuff. If you need to check out enemy armies, player armies, anything that has to do with the game, every single little bit of statistic, you can find it in this etc. tab. Now, if we go to cheat, this is where the magic really happens. There's a lot of settings here. Every single setting that you see here has effect on the game. We can press this button, which basically clears this chapter for us. We do not have to kill any bosses. We don't have to kill any enemies. By pressing this button, we will go to the next chapter. Really easy to do. If you are stuck in a chapter, but you still want to check out the next one, or if you just don't want to play test anything, then you can press this button. You can also do this. You can warp to a specific chapter. I used this to get to this map by cheating a bit. We can also just go to chapter 4 if we want to, like this. And what you will see that the game ends the chapter forcibly, and we can go to Ancient Horrors. Now let's see. And there you go. We're back at Ancient Horrors. We can just jump between timelines. We can also give ourselves a lot of more money. Like, if we go to the armory right now, you can see that we have a shit ton of money. We can change the turn count over here. If you have an event that triggers after a certain amount of turns, you can change the turn count. Like, if reinforcements appear at turn 10, we can change the turn count to turn 10 so those reinforcements appear. We can even And this just shows how flexible this entire debug thing is. We can just change the fog level like this. As you can see, look at that. We have now created a map with fog. If you ever were interested in what a map looked like with fog, then you could just enable it like this. We can also do the weather. FE8 has weather. It has like rainy weather, sunny weather. There's a lot of different weathers. Let me just quickly check. We have sunny over here, snow, blizzard, rain, lava, sandstorm, and what's cloudy actually doing? Okay, it makes for a really trippy effect. But we can also do lava is one of my favorite ones. What will happen basically is if we just change the fog level back to 0, what will happen is or it doesn't appear right now, but what would happen is you would get the fire dragon in FE7's finale. The fire dragon would have little fire particles flying around the screen. That is what would have happened if we had enabled the fire weather. So there is that. That is also something that you can apply. I do not know what this is actually. This is memory dumping. I never touched this. It's also probably at the bottom of the screen for a reason. I do not really know what this does. You probably don't need to unless you do some really tricky stuff. Going back to the left side of the menu here, we have everything that has to do with units and their stats. So let's say let's select this character. Let's select Mace, and as you can see, we can max out all of Mace's stats. You can actually max out his stats and make him the best unit in the game. Or one of the best units in the game. So let's just press this option, max out all unit stats, and if correct, boom, there you go. Mace now has everything capped. Perfect movement, 60 HP, he's level 10, ready for promotion. Oh hey, the fire effect has finally started to kick in. That's really cool. If you ever need to make a volcano map or something, then this is a really nice effect to apply. We can also change it to rain for a second, or sandstorm. Let's just change it to sandstorm. That's really trippy. I cannot even see my cursor. Where the hell is my cursor? Let's just change it to sunny. Okay, there we go. So, yeah, Mace has everything capped now, which is cool. We can even set the HP of Mace to 1. There you go. Mace now has only 1 HP. We can give him a certain item. We can give him the Devil Axe of earlier. Let's just change this to the Devil Axe. Give this selected item. We can give him the Devil Axe, like so. Now he has the Devil Axe, so you can also give a character a specific item without having to adjust inventories in FEBuilder. There's a cool shortcut for that right here. What you can also do is you see this number over here. You might think that is the number of Devil Axes Mace will get, but in reality, it's just simply the weapon uses of the weapon. The Devil Axe only has 20 in the normal game, but you can actually cheat a lot by even giving it like 255. Oh, 60 is the cap. I thought I was being funny. Anyway, going back, we can also max out all of the stats of all of the player units by doing this. So now every single character in my party has max stats. We can also do that by maxing out the stats of every single character, including enemies and also NPC units. So even these Revenants have perfect stats, and that is really scary, actually. Let's see what Seth can do here. Yeah, look at that. 60 hit points. 60 hit points. That is a lot of hit points. We can also set their HP to only 1. So now they only have 1 HP, and if we just attack them, they will die. There you go. Lucky hit. Wow, a lot of experience. Weapon level increased, and as you can see, every single enemy on the map now has 1 HP. And the final command that you can use is set all enemy unit AIs to do not move, which will basically make sure that not a single enemy on the map will move. They will do something else. They will heal themselves up if they have a vulnerary or something. something mediocre. Oh, hey, Cormac has shown up. Cormac does not have max stats because it will only max out the stats for all the characters that are currently on screen. So Cormac has just arrived. That is why his stats are still his vanilla FE8 stats. That is why he still has those basic stats. So yeah, this little window over here, you can do a lot of different stuff with this. If you're ever stuck somewhere or you want to test something specific, this window and maybe in combination with this window over here will be probably the best thing to do. Oh, you can also see if a unit is undeployed or if they're dead or something. That will also be displayed here. Or if they have left the party. For an example, Ephraim will leave the player party. Will leave the party of the player in chapter or after chapter 8 because you can choose to go either with Ephraim or Erica. So that will basically make Ephraim leave the party, and it will say here Ephraim has left the party, and you can make them rejoin with a certain command. You can also even see the time you spend in certain chapters. So basically, if you ever need to know something about you or your player, how you play through the game, etc., etc., you can always see it here in these addresses and these commands. So that is the little debug menu, actually. If I missed something, then you will probably figure it out yourself. If you ever need help playing your ROM, you can easily make yourself get to that area faster than just changing stuff in the ROM. If you're ever stuck in a chapter because the enemies are too strong for you to handle and you keep dying, then you could just click one of these settings, and what will happen is the game will just clear it for you, make your characters more overpowered. You can test specific events on certain turns. Very useful tool, just like the error reporting tools. Very, very useful. Now, for the last thing, I purposefully saved this for the last thing, is the revision history. As you can see, it appears on screen now. I can probably just remove this. This is the revision history. Now, the revision history is kind of empty right now. Let me close the ROM real quick, because that is probably the issue. There you go. As you can see, there are a lot of things that have happened here. Every time you change something in FEBuilder, it will be put in this little log over here. And you can see the time, you can see the date of when these changes have been made. This little log will only be wiped or cleared when you close FEBuilder. Only then will this little memory log that you see over here be wiped, and you will not be able to view this little log anymore. So what this means is that as long as you do not close FEBuilder, you can see every single change you have made in that session. So as you can see, we started this tutorial off by changing the defalags, and we changed a couple of other things in the meantime. Like we changed the animation from the general, and all of those changes will be listed over here. Now, what we can do is we can actually, in the menu below me, you can see test this version with emulator or revert to this version. If at a certain point you run into a bug and you do not know what caused it and you're not able to fix it, go through this little revision history thing. Let's say I run into an error where if Erica attacks, the whole game crashes. If that is the case and I cannot find the source of this error, then I can go back through my log and see where this issue started. So let's say this change over here, the 45 iron sword, is where Erica started crashing the game. Then I can go back in my log and see, okay, this little version of move to extended area, is the error present in this version of the ROM? And what we can do is check that by booting up this older version of the ROM by testing this. What will happen is you will get your nice little ROM, and since there is no bug, I made this bug up. There's no real thing. We do not need to look into this ROM. I will quickly just put it in a sound menu so there's no background noise. But if this is a ROM where this Erica bug is not present, then you can actually revert to that older version. It's basically a Control-Z undo thingy, where you can go back to previous versions of your ROM. A really nice tool as well. If you cannot find the source of an error and you do not know how to fix it, but it wasn't present in older versions, then you can easily go back to an older version. I could actually maybe... is there a quick way to make the game borderline unplayable? I don't really know a good way to show this, but let's just say I did not like the changes that I made. I can also say, like, this is the version where the Devil Axe does not have 1-2 range. I can test that, and if this version of the game really is the version that has no 1-2 range Devil Axe, and I'm like, okay, I want to go back to that version, then you could just click revert to this version if you have found the correct version without the bug, without the thing you're worrying about. If this version of the game does not have that little thing that annoys you, then you can go back to that version by clicking revert this version. It will ask you to confirm it. You can again try to test with the emulator, but in 9 out of the 10 cases you will be 100% sure that this is the version you really want to go back to, and then you will press revert to this version, and what will happen is the log will still show all of the changes you have made, but if we reload it, you can reload it. I do not... Is there a Control R button for that? No. There's actually not something that allows you to reload it just yet, but if you were to close it, let's see if we can quickly go to the start screen, and I close the revision history window, it will be gone. If I get back to it again, like go revision history over here, what will happen is you will see the changes. Wait, the changes have not gone. What the? Well, normally it would just list the changes, or it would be just completely blank because you have reverted back to a different version. It's basically a more advanced version of the Control-Z button that undoes some changes you have made. Really nice tool if you run into an error and do not know how to fix it. To finish off this tutorial, let's just quickly look at how you can find everything, what I just showed. If we go to File, if you do create a report issue, that will bring you to the 7-zip menu that we have seen earlier. So if we go to, that's this menu over here, the 7-zip one. That is if you do the create report issue option. If you go to Tools, oh wait, you can actually not see this. Oh. That's because it's in another layer. But if you press Tools, there is at the top something called Revision History that allows you to undo certain changes. The lint is like the 5th option in this little tools list, which allows you to view errors, as well as it will normally just, if there's something wrong, be listed under the event thingy here, and above the start event, there is where the errors will be listed, as we saw previously. And finally, there is the debug menu for when you boot up the ROM. It will always boot up with the ROM, but if you wanted to access it without the ROM active, you can go to, again, to the Tools tab over here. The 7th option is the emulator debug tool, which allows you to boot up the debug tool without you having to select that. Look over there. There it is. This is the emulator debug tool. The only thing is that there's no emulator running, as it says over here, so it's basically useless. With all of that covered, you now know how to fix various errors in FEBuilder, and you will all know how to change something, how to report in an error or a bug, how to share it with the community so you can get help, how to go back to previous versions of your ROM, how to fix certain things that have happened, how to skip to certain chapters, certain turns, to add certain values within the games via a shortcut menu, via the debug menu. Wow, this was a very long tutorial on how to make working with FEBuilder a lot easier in terms of errors and testing out stuff. if you enjoyed this video and this tutorial, and if you have learned something, be sure to press the thumbs up button. Consider subscribing, really helps out the channel, and you will stay up to date for new tutorials. In the new tutorials, I will most likely try out a new style from feedback that I've gotten, where I will try out to show every one of you, every single one of you, or all of you, what changes we will be making in the video, so the final result will be shown off in the beginning, so you know what we will actually be looking at and what we will make and create in the following tutorials. Another thing that I'm quite curious about is if you guys want me to add some background music, because me talking might not be the most pleasant thing to listen to. With all of that out of the way, I want to thank you all for watching. Again, I hope this was useful. Good luck with creating ROM hacks out there, and I hope I can play everyone or your ROM hacks one day. Would be really nice if this helped a great ROM hacker or helped create a great ROM hack in the future. Be sure to let me know what you've created, and I will gladly play it. I'm XPGamesNL, and I will see you all in the next tutorial video. Goodbye.